Hello and welcome once again after the short break. Welcome once again to the 10th edition of Elets Knowledge Exchange Summit. We have been doing this conference for the past 10 years and we started in 2011 from the first edition in Kovalam in Kerala. And throughout the next 10 years, we went to different locations of the country from Kovalam to Goa to Kashmir to Hyderabad and other places. But this year, because of the COVID pandemic, we have been forced to go online and organize this event in virtual mode. So we had a very eventful first half today in the morning. Although the conference has started 3 days back, the day one was devoted to the innovations in the governance ecosystem, how latest technologies and innovations can transform the governance of India and take India into the next level. Yesterday was the day two of the conference where we had discussed and debated upon the emerging challenges of municipal administration, the city administrators, and the progress of the smart cities mission, and how do we take it forward from here. And today we'll be discussing the most important topic of the Indian economy these days, and a sector which is employing 50% of India's population, and a sector which is also contributing to 15% of the GDP, but not yet performing to its utmost potential. The potential is much, much, much more. The potential is to become a global powerhouse. The potential is to become an grain ball for the world, but still we are far away from the target. So what are the issues? What are the lacuna? What are the loopholes? How do we address them? How does technology play a role in this transformation? How does digitization of the agricultural ecosystem will play a role? And how does the income of an average farmer increase? And how does the vision of the government of India, because India cannot prosper without the prosperity of the farmer at the grassroots. So to discuss and deliberate upon these issues, I am joined by a very distinguished panel here. Please join me in welcoming Dr. B.N.S. Murthy. He is the Horticulture Commissioner, Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India. Dr. Arjun Singh Saini is there. He is the Director General, Horticulture, Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of Haryana. Dr. Anand Kumar Singh is the Deputy Director General, Horticulture Science, ICAR, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India. And we had on a mobile platform, there's the beauty of the virtual world that anybody can join from anywhere, a very senior IS officer, Dr. Hiralal. He has again gone off, so he'll join us shortly. Dr. Hiralal will be here back in a while once he joins his location. So we are going to start this live panel discussion. The topic is horticulture, animal husbandry, dairy, poultry, fisheries, and allied sector scope and opportunities. So we'll start with Dr. Arjun Singh Saini first. Dr. Arjun Singh Saini, your opening remarks, please.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Thanks, eGov Magazines and Elets. They have invited me for this very useful and important topic of the year. Since pandemic, there is a lot of focus now has been shifted to the model has been shifted to agribusiness now. But what we are doing in Haryana and what is our focus being very near to Delhi, our priorities and scopes and opportunities altogether is different than the other states of the country. We have started for the last 2-3 years. We started focusing on the sustainable development goals, and in horticulture, our focus is on mainly on the productivity enhancement, number one, and second is on the quality education, and third is on the post-harvest management. And all these activities are going side by side. Now, I will take one by one how the Haryana is creating opportunities in productivity through productivity enhancement, how we are going ahead, and what are our the scope. Being close to Delhi, everybody knows in Haryana, though roughly we are growing horticulture in around 5 lakh hectare area in different seasons of the year. Around 85% area is under vegetables, and only 15% area is under fruits and other spices and flower crops. That means we are more towards the fresh commodities, which we may cater to the Delhi market. Delhi is a huge market, NCR, everybody knows. And our primary focus is now to enhance the productivity, because our challenge is to compete with the these agricultural crops like grain crops, like cereal crops, like wheat, paddy cycle. And farmers are in comfort zone growing these crops, and easily they are taking around 1 lakh rupees income per year uh, per acre. Then our challenge is to have more income in comparison to these crops. Until unless we have more productivity, then nobody is going towards horticulture crop. This is the challenge in case of horticulture in our state. As everybody knows, now everybody knows MSP and procurement on the basis of MSP and fixed procurement and definite procurement. Farmers are in comfort zone. They are saying that it's good if they go for the cereal crops instead of taking the risk under the horticulture crops. Our challenge is for horticulture to diversify from agriculture to horticulture. And then seeing this, the Haryana government for the last many years, they have changed the strategies, and there is a the increase in budget spending in horticulture in Haryana. We started in the last 15 years with only 1 crore rupees. Now with the different missions like horticulture mission, micro missions, bamboo missions, and these medicinal plant missions. There are different missions and different on state government schemes. We are now at around 500 crore rupees budget in this current year. Means Haryana focus in the last 15 years has increased from 15 times on seeing the diversification potential in the state of Haryana. Now, productivity, I will give you different examples how we are increasing the productivity. Currently, our productivity is around 15 to 20 ton per hectare for fruits and vegetables, respectively. And irrespective, otherwise, the productivity in different states is also varies from 15 to 25 also. Means our aim is to reach to the almost 25 to 30 metric ton per hectare. It means the moment we increase the productivity, the income of the farmers also increases, and there are different ways of increasing the productivity of the crops. There are, of course, the capital intensive technologies are there, like poly houses, like net houses. Of course, the productivity under these the technologies, there are 3 to 4 times more. But at the same time, the capital is also more. The attraction toward these purchases, there are limited number of farmers. But to reach the uh, mass farmers, we have different types of strategies and technological interventions. Number one is like bamboo stacking. For the last many years, there are around 1,000 acres per year. They are bamboo stacking in a bamboo stacking where the farmers take the crops on the vertical farming. It's open field, but with bamboos and these wires string to it, and it's a very low cost. It's hardly cost around 60 to 65,000 rupees a acre, in comparison to 30 to 40 lakh rupees a acre in a poly housing. Farmers are very comfortable in this bamboo stacking type of technologies, and number of acres have come up in Haryana in this technology, and the productivity and the yield is almost 1.75 to 2 times in this case, and the quality is also certainly an improvement. It means the farmers are getting more income, more comfortable, and of course the state government is supporting by way of subsidies and inputs also. And the second most important enhancement of productivity is through these low cost technology like mulching, like low tunnels, and micro irrigations. And for the last many years, particularly last 4 or 5 years, our interventions in these technologies are huge. Every year, around 1,000 acre plus is coming under these technology. So these are the technological interventions through which we can enhance the productivity, and ultimately we can enhance the income of the farmers. And with the rough data which we have right now, around 50 to 60% whatever we produce in Haryana, especially in case of vegetables, it goes to the NCR region. It goes to the Delhi market. It's only the 40 to 50% of the produce is the state consumption, but the rest goes to the outside the state. But of course, we being close to Delhi, within 2 or 3 hours, our farmers, our produce reach to the Delhi. Means our the intervention in case of post harvest management, the cost of pest management is less, because we don't need so much of cold storage. Of course, we do do need the package houses, grading houses, or pre-cooling and cooling type of thing instead of having storages where we can store for a longer period of time. At least the vegetables I am talking about. Of course, there are certain fruits like apples which we don't produce. They do require the CA type of chambers. But for as far as vegetable is concerned, we are very comfortable. And for that, we have a separate program for it under the crop cluster development program. It's a 500 crore rupees project which state government from its own funds has started in Haryana for the last 1 year. And we are creating clusters in states all over Haryana. There are around 393 horticulture crop clusters identified. And in each clusters, we are forming a farmer aggregation groups. We call FPOs, farmer producer organizations. So far, around 500 FPOs already formed, around 75,000, more than 75,000 farmers are associated with these FPOs. And how they will work is in each clusters there will be one FPO, and in this cluster there will be a one integrated pack houses. And we are giving huge subsidy in case of 70 to 90% subsidy. We are providing to these pack houses in these groups. Almost around 30 such pack houses are under process, and within a year, around 130 such pack houses will be established all across Haryana. Means we are future ready now. The moment these farm laws came, become reality. As far as horticulture is concerned, we are very comfortable with these formulas. We farmers now freely trade. Now freely the other organizations, other agencies, other private players like Reliance, like Metros, like Big Baskets, they can purchase directly from even the mother dairy. They can purchase directly from the farm associations. Now they have the in-house facilities at different clusters, like in case of individual pack houses. They can purchase from that place, and even they can have a graded packing material. This is the advantage now we have, and we are working on it. This way, they are directly linked with the market. Of course, there is a 20 to 25% increase in overall return in comparison to mandi system, where they are generally right now they're disposing their produce. This is how we are managing the things in case of Haryana. And similarly, uh, now for farmers to demonstrate this technology, so there we have established around 11 centers already established in the state of Haryana. 4 or 5 centers is the Israel government, and others are developed by the in-house by the horticulture department. They are in different agroclimatic conditions. One for fruits, another for beekeeping, one for vegetables, like that for seedling product. And through these centers, we are not demonstrating only the vegetables cultivation technologies, but also the micro irrigation technologies, was also polyhouse technologies, was also the new cultivars which some private or public sector want to demonstrate at our centers. Everything is demonstrated at this center. Farmers learn by them themselves on seeing the technology actually happening at these centers. And quickly for the last 5 6 years, whatever we have done, they quickly are very farmers are very quickly to adopt those technologies in our state. These are the things which are actually happening now. Simultaneously, there are training programs to the at these centers. So there are 4 or 5 main things now to back these technologies and to target the consumers also. We started 2 3 years back a very novel scheme of the this quality assessment of the produce also, and we established 2 quality control lab in two different regions, one in Sirsa, one in Karnal. And there we have started taking samples, and our target is to take around 2,500 samples in a year of produce of soil and water at the same place continuously for a period of 3 years, so that we can assess what is the pesticide residue in these samples, so can we can take the corrective measures also. Because everybody knows the pesticide residue is a major cause of concerns. Everybody's even honey. Everybody knows what is happening in honey. What happened in honey? The latest report of the CSC. So that is very heartening to note. That's how we are. backing the farmers and the traders also. Uh, these are the certain things on the way we are moving. And now the state government and horticulture department, the focus is now shifting towards the to the farmer producer organizations. So far, we have around 500 FPOs, and by next year will be 1,000 FPOs all across the state of Haryana. And to support their agribusiness activities, even we have a separate agency. We have formed a separate agency. We call it a Small Farmer Agribusiness Consortium Haryana, SPAC Haryana. There is a subsidiary body at this central government level. There is a SPAC in Haryana level also. That SPAC body, the primary purpose is of the agri-business activities of these FPO and these integrated pack houses. Now these two departments, horticulture department is more towards extension activities and technological intervention, transfer of technologies, and the SPAC body is looking after the after harvest this dynamism means the sporting there this post harvest pack houses and even marketing. This is how the Haryana is doing, and we know that right now Haryana contribute around horticulture contribute around 8,200 crore rupees in GDP in the state of Haryana, and we hope within a period of 2-3 years it will just double. Now the farmers themselves are coming for adoption in for taking the horticulture as a diversified activities. Now then they know that there is a stagnation in cereal crops. The only option left now them is for horticulture, fisheries, and animals dairy sector. And the we department is fully geared up to take all those challenges and to take those opportunities. And as per the World Bank Sustainable Goal Development Goal targets, our major goal to have zero hunger and quality educations and this reducing the post-harvest loss. This is how the Haryana government and through horticulture department we are working on. That's all from my side, and I request Mishra that to give permit me to lead this session, but I will be in touch with through my mobile on way to my meeting. That's all.
Thank you, Dr. Arjun Singh Saini. We understand that you had a very tight schedule. Thank you for outlining the horticulture perspective of the government of Haryana. Haryana traditionally has been a food basket for India and one of the major source of ensuring the food security for the country. Now, with the passage of time, and there is also a need of the time to move on towards the horticulture, because horticulture is one such sector which has the potential to have a direct impact on the farm income. And as rightly pointed out by you, that the more technological innovations we put into the sector, and with the support of the government of Haryana and also from the government of India, we do hope that your target of doubling up this figure of 8,200 crore income from horticulture is achieved in the next 2 years. Thank you so much, Dr. Saini, for putting your reviews here.
Thank you.
Now, yeah, thank you so much. Now we have a very special speaker here. He is a senior IAS officer of 2010 batch and has served in multiple departments in the government of UP, and is a renowned expert in water in the field of water conservation and water management, and also a very down-to-earth and rooted, deeply grounded officer. Please join me welcoming Dr. Hira Lal. He is the Additional Mission Director, National Health Mission, Government of UP. Currently, he is serving as Additional Mission Director there, but he has a very deep and very rich domain knowledge of agriculture sector as well. So Dr. Hira Lal will be giving his perspective of how do we, while taking a leap into the future, also take sustenance from our traditional past practices at the गांव level. डॉक्टर हीरालाल, अब आपकी हम रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं कि आप अपने इसमें अपनी बात रखें.
नमस्कार आप सभी लोगों का मैं स्वागत करता हूं, और जो भी श्रोता है मैं उनका भी स्वागत करता हूं. मेरी एक पीपीटी है, मैं शेयर करना चाहूंगा, तो जरा शेयर का ऑप्शन मुझे दे देंगे तो आपकी मेहरबानी होगी. ओके, तो मैं तब तक बात करता हूं, तब तक अभी शेयर का ऑप्शन इन बिटवीन अपना हो जाएगा. देखिए ऐसा है कि अभी जब मैं डीजी साहब को सुन रहा था तो मुझे लग रहा था कि मेरा जो पॉइंट ऑफ टॉक है या जो मेरा पॉइंट ऑफ डिस्कशन है वो बड़ा छोटा सा है। ये इनका बड़ा जिस हिसाब से आप बात कर रहे थे, और ये बात सही भी है कि हरियाणा दिल्ली के नजदीक है, हरियाणा प्रॉस्पेरस स्टेट है, तो आप लोगों का काम भी बहुत उसी लेवल का होता है। मेरा जो सोच है, जो मेरा काम ये है कि मैं उत्तर प्रदेश से बिलोंग करता हूं, तो मेरी थिंकिंग उसी साइड से है। मैं इसको उत्तर प्रदेश के पर्सपेक्टिव में बात कर रहा हूं कि अगर उत्तर प्रदेश का विकास करना है तो एग्री को एग्री बिजनेस में कन्वर्ट करना हमारी मजबूरी है। मैं अभी 1.5 साल बांदा में कलेक्टर था, तो जब मैं वहां जाकर के देखा कि मैंने सोचा कि यहाँ की इकोनॉमी क्या है, तो वहाँ की इकोनॉमी एग्री है, एग्री पे ही सब कुछ था, एग्री से ही जो कुछ हो सकता है वो संभव था। हमने उनके इनकम को बढ़ाने के डिफरेंट वर्किंग करना शुरू किया। जैसे वहाँ डेयरी के, सब्जी के, सीरियल के जो वहाँ के स्वयं के इंटरप्रेन्योर थे, स्वयं अच्छा काम करते थे, उनको हमने चयनित किया और डिफरेंट बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेज पे भेजा, और भेज करके हमने उनसे उन्हें जो है उनके बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेज जो भेजा और उनकी लर्निंग कराई। तो इसी तरह से वहाँ 2-3 हमने एक्सीलेंट सेंटर बनाने के इनिशिएटिव लिए। हार्टिकल्चर का एक्सीलेंट सेंटर, एग्रीकल्चर का एक्सीलेंट सेंटर, इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर है टेक्नोलॉजी का, उसमें हमें सफलता मिली। और इसका नेट रिजल्ट ये रहा कि लोग चेंज मेकर बने, लोगों की सोच बदली, और लोगों ने वहां पानी की, बांदा जनपद पानी के क्राइसिस के लिए जाना जाता है। 1 साल में 1 मीटर 35 सेंटीमीटर पानी बढ़ा बिना किसी एक्स्ट्रा रिसोर्स के। क्रॉप प्रोडक्टिविटी 18.5% बढ़ा। तो वहां जो हमने अनऑर्गेनाइज समय समय पर 1.5 साल में एज ए कलेक्टर प्रयोग किए थे एग्रीकल्चर पे, टू बूस्ट द इकोनॉमी, टू इनहांस द इनकम ऑफ द फार्मर्स, टू डबल द इनकम ऑफ द फार्मर्स, टू मेक देम आजकल आत्मनिर्भर का एक कॉन्सेप्ट चल रहा है। जब हम चलाते थे तो उस समय आत्मनिर्भर नहीं, ये बाद में आया आत्मनिर्भर वर्ड माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने। तो हम वहाँ हमारा जो नारा था, जो हम काम करते थे, लोकल कंजम्पशन बाय लोकल प्रोडक्शन। हमारा ये नारा था कि जो हमें कंजम्पशन करते हैं हम उसको वही प्रोड्यूस करेंगे। वही उसी को बाद में माननीय प्रधान जी का एक अच्छा शब्द है, प्रधानमंत्री जी का एक अच्छा शब्द है, आत्मनिर्भर। तो डबलिंग फार्मर्स इनकम या उनका इनकम इन्हांसमेंट करने के लिए हम लोगों ने जब इसको इकट्ठा किया सारे कामों को, तो हमने एक कॉन्सेप्ट दिया मॉडर्न विलेज का। तो ये जो मॉडर्न विलेज का कॉन्सेप्ट है, इसको देखिए हमने इसको 3 पार्ट में बांटा है। पहला पार्ट है कि विलेज मैनिफेस्टो। विलेज मैनिफेस्टो इसका पहला पार्ट है। दूसरा पार्ट है कि उस गांव में चेंज मेकर तैयार करना, और तीसरा पार्ट है कि एफपीओ, गांव स्तर पे एफपीओ बना करके और चेंज मेकर को उस एफपीओ का ड्राइवर बना करके उस गांव के एग्री को एग्री बिजनेस में कन्वर्ट करेंगे, जिससे कि वो गांव आत्मनिर्भर भी हो और लोगों का इनकम बढ़े। तो विलेज मैनिफेस्टो को हम लोगों ने इस तरह से ये लिखा है कि विलेज मैनिफेस्टो क्या है। विलेज मैनिफेस्टो इज ए मीन्स टू एस्टैब्लिश एन एजेंडा फॉर डेवलपमेंट इन द विलेज। it will it will help villagers to learn how to develop themselves and their villages, and it will enable building consensus on the issues of village development and the accelerate and it will accelerate the developmental work। इसका ये मतलब हुआ अभी गांव में विकास मुद्दा ही नहीं है। क्या है, वहां का जो पूरी व्यवस्था है, उनके पास टाइम है, दिन भर वो अपना टाइम किल करते हैं, गॉसिप करते हैं इधर उधर की बातों में। अगर हम गांव में इस विलेज मैनिफेस्टो के माध्यम से विकास का एजेंडा सेट कर दें, तो आदमी क्या है, विकास की बातें करेगा, विकास पे सोचेगा, विकास पे चलेगा। तो मैं आपको एक चीज और क्लियर कर दूं, जब मैंने इसको मैनिफेस्टो, विलेज मैनिफेस्टो का कॉन्सेप्ट लेके काम किया, तो लोग इसको इलेक्शन मैनिफेस्टो समझ गए। मैं आपको बता दूं, मैंने फिर इस पर अध्ययन किया, इलेक्शन मैनिफेस्टो नहीं है, ये विलेज मैनिफेस्टो है। देयर आर 1000 टाइप्स ऑफ मैनिफेस्टो, और उसमें विलेज मैनिफेस्टो एक टाइप है, इलेक्शन मैनिफेस्टो। ये हमने 25 मुद्दे आइडेंटिफाई किए हैं जिस पर गांव में हम ये चाहते हैं, ये जो हमारा ये है कि ये 25 मुद्दे गांव में चर्चा का विषय बने, गांव के हर व्यक्ति तक ये मुद्दा पहुंचे, इस पर जागरूकता हो, उनके दिल दिमाग में ये 25 मुद्दे घुस जाएं और उसमें उनके दिल दिमाग में घुस के हलचल पैदा करने लगे, और लोग इन 25 मुद्दों को पाने के लिए इस 25 मुद्दों के माध्यम से विकास करने के लिए बिल्कुल दीवाने हो जाएं। तो ये है विलेज मैनिफेस्टो 25। इसके करने के लिए देखिए अभी हम लोग पहले शुरुआती दौर में ये पीला वाला हैंड बिल बना करके सर्कुलेट किया, उसके बाद उसमें इंप्रूव करके ये अभी हमारा ये कंटिन्यूअस प्रोसेस चल रहा है। अभी हम लोग पहले आइडिया को डेवलप किए, फिर उसको इस तरह से डॉक्यूमेंट कर रहे हैं, और हम लोगों की कोशिश है कि अगले 15 दिन में मॉडल विलेज का एक बहुत बड़ा कॉन्सेप्ट एक ऑर्गेनाइज्ड वे में लर्न बाई बांदा एक्टिविटीज, जो भी हमने बांदा में लैब किया उसको ऑर्गेनाइज वे में कैसे हम पूरे प्रदेश में पूरे देश में लागू करें, इसकी पूरी हमारी व्यवस्था है। इसका पहला पार्ट था विलेज मैनिफेस्टो, और वो ये है, अगेन आई वुड लाइक टू से इट इज नॉट द इलेक्शन मैनिफेस्टो, क्योंकि इलेक्शन होने वाला तो लोग वहां से कंफ्यूज हो जा रहे हैं। दूसरा है चेंज मेकर। देखिए हर जगह अच्छे लोग बुरे लोग हैं, गांव में भी पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं, अच्छे लोग हैं, वो करें क्या बेचारे, उनको कोई काम नहीं। तो हम उन ऐसे लोगों को आइडेंटिफिकेशन करेंगे, उनको जो है ये 25 मुद्दे रटवाएंगे, उनको चेंज मेकर बनाएंगे। ये चेंज मेकर क्या है, देखिए अब हम इसकी अंग्रेजी नहीं पढ़ने जा रहे हैं, कहिए तो पढ़ी देंगे। चेंज मेकर इज वन हु टेक्स इंटरेस्ट एंड फाइंड्स creative solution for social development and progress with public participation in a positive environment। ये चेंज मेकर का हमने फार्मूला दिया। अब उसका रोल क्या होगा चेंज मेकर का, ये रोल एंड इम्पोर्टेंस टू प्ले अ सिग्निफिकेंट रोल इन सेटिंग द लोकल एजेंडा फॉर डेवलपमेंट इन अ विलेज, to accelerate developmental work with acquired knowledge, learning and ideas, to contribute in converting the village into a model village, टू एडवाइज लोकल्स, अगर उनकी कोई समस्या है तो एडवाइज करेगा, एंड टू अर्न, जब ये सब वो काम करेगा तो उसकी इज्जत तो बढ़ी जाएगी। ठीक है, हम इसको ऐसे कहा। अब इसको कैसे सेलेक्ट करेंगे, उसके लिए हम लोगों ने ये एक प्रोफार्मा डेवलप किया है। इसी प्रोफार्मे पर हम उसका आकलन करेंगे, 25-30 लोगों की एक लिस्ट बनाएंगे, और उनको जो है ये सिलेक्शन का ट्रांसपेरेंट सोल्यूशन है हम लोगों ने बनाया है, इसमें कोई डिस्क्रिशन ना हो, मेरिट बन जाएगी, इसी मेरिट में सब नंबरिंग है। आगे प्लीज। हाँ, अब ये जो एफपीओ है, एफपीओ को हम लोग ऐसे मानते हैं, एफपीओ क्या है, ये कन्वर्टर है। कन्वर्टर, एफपीओ जो ये कन्वर्टर है वो क्या करेगा, गांव की, अगर हमारा अभी उद्देश्य है कि एक गांव पर एक हम एफपीओ को कंस्ट्रक्ट करवा दें, डेवलप करवा दें, बनवा दें। एफपीओ क्या करेगा, गांव की जो अभी एग्री है उसको कन्वर्ट कर देगा एग्री बिजनेस में। तो एफपीओ पे सरकार, हर लेवल की सरकार बहुत जोर दे रही है, बहुत इम्फेसिस है, वो काम करना है। ये एक अच्छा मौका भी हमारे लिए कि हम एफपीओ के माध्यम से लोगों को के दिमाग को कमर्शियलाइज करेंगे, सोच को कमर्शियलाइज करेंगे, और उन्हें हम एग्री से, कृषि से कृषि व्यवसायी बनाएंगे। ये मोटा मोटा मकसद है एफपीओ का। तो इसके लिए अभी हमारी प्लानिंग चल रही है, ये हमने डोमेन वगैरह बुक कर लिया है, और इसमें हम आगे काम करेंगे। आगे चलिए। इसके हम लोग बहुत सारे प्रोसेस स्टेप इन्वॉल्व किए हैं, कैसे हम डाटा करेंगे, कैसे चेंज मेकर का सिलेक्शन हमने दिखाया, फिर हम उन्हें उन्हीं के पार्टिसिपेशन से, उन्हीं के कलेक्टिव इफर्ट से उनको हम लोग बेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेज पे भेजेंगे, वहां से लर्न करके आएंगे, फिर प्रैक्टिस करेंगे, फिर स्टेट के बाहर भेजेंगे। दूसरा जो है मतलब क्या है, एजुकेशन एंड रिक्रिएशन को कंबाइंड करेंगे। जैसे हमारे यहाँ एक पद्म श्री हैं बाराबंकी में, रामशरण वर्मा जी, वो कक्षा 8 फेल हैं, और कक्षा 8 फेल होने के बाद भी जो है आईआईएम के लोग उनके यहाँ आते हैं, वो पढ़ाने जाते हैं। तो ऐसे लोगों के यहाँ भेजेंगे जिससे उनके अंदर ऊर्जा आए। ये हमारी बेसिक एक टीम अभी तैयार हो रही है, और इस टीम के मार्फत हम लोगों को गाइडेंस मिलेगा। और ये सब चीजें, क्योंकि बांदा में हमने अरहर सम्मेलन किया था मार्केटिंग के लिए, वहां हम 5 पद्मश्री बुलाए थे, और सभी लोग मेरे टच में हैं। तो हमारा ये कोई नया मॉडल नहीं है, ये सब टेस्टेड एंड ट्राइड है। हमारे ये कुछ पार्टनर्स हैं, जैसे ये आईसीसीआई फाउंडेशन इसमें हमें सपोर्ट कर रहा है। ये सब टेक्निकल टीमें हैं, क्योंकि अभी प्रोसेस, एवरी प्रोसेस इज इन मेकिंग है, इसलिए अभी कॉन्सेप्ट बन गया, हम लोग इसको लागू करने जा रहे हैं। इसमें सबसे अहम बात यह है कि देखिए ये जो बीच में है श्री मुनीष जी, और मुनीष जी मेरे साथ यहाँ बैठे भी हैं, और ये नाबार्ड में 2016 में रिटायर हुए। आज जो ये प्रोजेक्ट बना के हम लोग प्रदेश और देश लेवल में लाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, ये मुनीष जी मेरे बगल में बैठे हुए हैं। ये नाबार्ड के रिटायर्ड सीजीएम हैं। ये 2016 में रिटायर हुए और तब से ये इनको सब कुछ मालूम है, इनकी प्रैक्टिस है। इन्होंने ही मेरे बांदा के काम को अध्ययन किया और इन्होंने मुझे बताया कि आपका बांदा का काम अनऑर्गेनाइज था, आप 1.5 साल में बहुत अच्छा काम किए हैं। जब इन्होंने मुझे इकट्ठा करके मुझे बताया कि ये बहुत बड़ा मॉडल है, इसको प्रदेश के ये लागू करना चाहते हैं, आपने कहा कि इसको मैं ये लागू करेंगे और मैं इसकी मेंटरिंग करूं, तो हम लोग मिल करके इनके श्री मुनीश जी जो रिटायर्ड सीजीएम नाबार्ड उत्तर प्रदेश हैं, इनके नेतृत्व में ये विलेज मॉडल का कॉन्सेप्ट लेके आए हैं। इसको लागू करेंगे और गांव को एग्री बिजनेस में कन्वर्ट करेंगे। बड़े इंकरेजिंग रिजल्ट मिल रहे हैं। ये हमारा, जैसे कि अभी हम डीजी साहब की बात कर रहे थे, तो ये जो है बहुत मतलब बहुत एडवांस लेवल की बात कर रहे हैं, हम तो मेरी जड़ की शुरुआत की बात कर रहे हैं। बेसिकली ये मेरा प्रोजेक्ट है। दिस इज बेस्ड ऑन माय वर्क एंड अचीवमेंट एक्टिविटीज इन बांदा एज ए डिस्ट्रिक्ट मजिस्ट्रेट, और उसके हमारे पास टेंजिबल रिजल्ट्स हैं। पानी नहीं होगा तो खेती नहीं होगी। 1 साल में 1 मीटर 35 सेंटीमीटर पानी बढ़ा, 18.5% प्रोडक्टिविटी बढ़ी। इस तरह से मैं अगर बात करूं तो बहुत कुछ बताने के लिए है। उसी को जब हम इकट्ठा किए तो ये मॉडल गांव बना, और इस मॉडल गांव को अब हम प्रदेश लेवल पर यूपी में और देश लेवल पे लागू करने जा रहे हैं इन ऑर्गेनाइज मैनर। दिस इज ऑल अबाउट आवर प्रोजेक्ट। थैंक यू।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका। कृषि व्यवसायी, बहुत ही बेहतरीन आपने एक ये जो मुद्दा उठाया कि हम कैसे हर एक कृषक को एक व्यवसायी बनाएं। सोच, एक मेंटेलिटी है कि एक एंटरप्रेन्योर। अभी तक हम किसानी करते आ रहे हैं, लेकिन किसानी को कैसे हम प्रॉफिटेबल व्यवसाय में बदले हैं। आपका विलेज मैनिफेस्टो, बार बार आपका क्लैरिफिकेशन की इलेक्शन मैनिफेस्टो नहीं है, विलेज मैनिफेस्टो है। और यकीनन 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 ये विलेज मैनिफेस्टो ही हमारे गांव और अंततः पूरे भारत के विकास का ही मार्ग खोलेगा। दिस इज अ कंप्लीट कॉन्फिडेंस एंड बिलीफ आल्सो, बिकॉज विदाउट टेकिंग इनटू कंसिडरेशन द इंडियन विलेजेस, गांव के विकास के बगैर देश का समग्र विकास नहीं हो सकता। तो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका। आपने ग्रास रूट लेवल पे जाके काम किया और कम्युनिटीज को इन्वॉल्व किया। द बिगेस्ट यूएसपी ऑफ दिस एंटायर प्रोजेक्ट इज it is having a participatory approach. You are involving the local communities, and any scheme, any project or any departmental initiative cannot succeed without involving the key stakeholders at the
हाँ, मैं
community
जो
level. तो
एक
बहुत बहुत
मिनट कहूंगा कि
धन्यवाद।
1 मिनट जो है मुनीष जी भी 1 मिनट बोल दे, जो ये नहीं तो यही मालिक यही है, हम तो मेंटर है।
स्वागत है मिस्टर मनीष का।
Good morning. As Mr. Hiralal has introduced me already, I work in Reserve Bank. I started my career from Reserve Bank of India and later on joined NABARD. I was there for 35 years and I retired as CGM NABARD. So as you all know, that NABARD is basically focused on rural development. Basically entirely focused on rural development. So, and I being a native of the rural area, I belong to a rural area. I was born in a village. Naturally, my instinctive interest was in rural development. And somehow my entire career was devoted to rural development. So after I retired, I found it useful to counsel people, to advise people and institutions on rural development, its scope, its objectives, its processes, and various problems and the solutions, etc. etc. And later on, when Sri Hiralalji was DM Banda, his work was advertised in newspapers also, social media was also covering his work. So I also came to know that something is happening in Banda. Therefore, I myself visited Banda, thought to myself as to what is happening there, and various interventions, very meaningful interventions at the grassroots level, they were quite impressive. So I talked to him, and then I proposed that we can consolidate all these initiatives we have taken in Banda and replicate them elsewhere in a structured way. This is how we are together, and we are trying to kind of prepare a big model for a rural development. And let us see how it gets grounded and stabilized. I believe that all those people who are there in our advisory council, you must have seen them. and all experts are there. So with their help and their expertise, we'll definitely succeed. This is how we feel, and this is how we are going. Thank you very much.
Great going, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Great going. We wish you, both of you, our best wishes. हम आशा करते हैं कि आपका प्रोजेक्ट पूरे देश में रेप्लिकेट हो, बांदा से निकल के पूरे देश में रेप्लिकेट हो, और जैसे कि मैं पहले भी कहा कि गांव के विकास से ही देश का विकास संभव है. Now moving on, because we're running short of time, I'll like to now invite our another speaker, the Horticulture Commissioner, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India, Dr. V.N.S. Murthy. Dr. V.N.S. Murthy will give his technical inputs on how horticulture can be taken to the next level from where we are today. Dr. Murthy, please, over to you. Kindly unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, sir. Many congratulations to Elets for organizing this kind of a knowledge sharing platform. And it is a very good initiative so that people, not only from horticulture sector, other sectors also you are covering. It is a great initiative, and I will congratulate your whole team for and also following it up very closely. And I really liked your technical team for putting up the things in a best way and sticking on to the time. That's where you start. That's great. Sir, first of all, I'll give you some of the statistics that may be interesting to you. Overall, horticulture contributes about 10.38 lakh crores annually to the sector, to the agriculture sector as the Indian economy. This is a huge amount. With this, we can imagine earlier, last year, it was only 9.35. The way it is growing, it is very enormous. In fact, to tell you frankly, since 2004-5 and now, it has production has nearly doubled. It was 167 million tons in the year 2004-5 when this National Horticulture Mission started. Now it is about 319.54 million tons. And our requirement of fruits and vegetables is totally met, but only because of the supply chain and distribution problems and other issues, there are malnutrition in the country. Otherwise, our per capita availability of fruits and vegetables is enormous. Though the requirement is about 400 grams per day, we have 200 grams of fruits and 387 grams of vegetables available. And as I told you, our second, based on our fourth advanced estimate, it's about 319.57 million tons of production from an area of 25.66 million hectares. And productivity is about 12 tons per hectare, but there is a good scope for enhancing it further. So during COVID time, we learned several of the lessons. And because of that one, our Atmanirbharta scheme also got into practice. And several new ventures started, especially since most of these horticulture crops are perishable, highly perishable rather. We got direct marketing, input from farmers to directly to the consumers. Not only other inputs also like fertilizers and pesticides also delivered to the farm itself. Otherwise, we have a licensing portion that it is to be sold from the regulated institutions only. And as we know that no other sector other than the agriculture that was in a positive figure during the COVID time. This is a great thing. And we are looking for implementation of end-to-end technology. And we have the good support from ICR system. They are the knowledge partners. We have about 600 plus KVKs. We are utilizing them for sharing our, taking their help for increasing our production and productivity. And we have a lot of initiatives. And in the National Horticulture Mission, we have even giving about 60% of the finances from the center to the states and 90% for the union territories. And there is a good scope for implementation of overall development of horticulture, starting from giving the financial assistance for planting material production till the marketing. As we know that the farmers are very keen on getting their income or the produce what they sell it to be back, unless his share of money, that is what he sells in the market, goes into market. Till that time, there is uncertainty. There are more than 70 Government of India schemes available. with which agriculture and horticulture can be taken to a higher fields. We have assistance for planting material production. The planting material production is one of the very key important aspects. We are giving a lot of thrust on this one. Unless the good quality, genuine quality planting material is available, that will be hampering to the farmers. In fact, if you know, most of these horticulture crops, other than vegetables and other things, are mostly perennials. If a mistake is done in the beginning, that will be carried forward for the entire life of the orchard. So we are giving a lot of trust. We are bringing about 6,000 nurseries are there, that accredited nurseries. We are bringing them on a single platform. By March, we are going to host that website. In that one, what we are planning is to bring all the nurseries together. What are the planting material available and what is the cost, where it is located. And this is almost like a directory. This will give the clients or the farmers to find out where we have to go for the plant. Otherwise, it's very difficult for these days for the farmers to get the planting material. This is a very good initiative from the ministry. Probably by the end of March, we are going live with this kind of initiative. So we are giving assistance for establishment of new gardens. Here, I want to stress upon that there are several crops that we are importing and losing our, in fact, our foreign exchange on this part. We are looking for becoming self-sufficient in some of these crops, like apple. Although we produce a lot and our farmers are getting good price, still we are importing a lot of apple from other countries. There may be both technical issues and also from political issues also, there may be that. And kiwi fruit is another 50% of our requirement we are importing. And there are several other crops like cashew. We have to become self-sufficient in cashew. We have production capacity of about 24 lakh tons of cashew, but we have the production of about only 10 lakh tons. And we are importing the raw cashew nuts from African countries and processing it here and selling it, and part of it is exported and a lot of consumption is also internally. We have also planned for a roadmap of cashew, like area expansion from 10.8 lakh hectares to 12 lakh hectares for the next 3 years. We have different schemes for even for rejuvenation of the plants, because most of these plants what we have right now in our horticulture sector is quite old. They are 30 to 40 years old, many of them. In fact, the productivity will come down. The horticulture or perennial crops is such that most of them, many farmers intend to be absentee landlordism. Once they plant, after a few years, they will take interest and they forget and they go into the field. Because of that, productivity will come down. The area will be there, productivity will come down. Only during harvest or during a very critical time, they will visit the field and collect the harvested crop. So such kind of the situation of horticulture crop. So we need to go for replanting and rejuvenation. For that also we are assisting the farmers, and technological input is backed up from ICR side for this one. And we are giving a lot of initiatives for protected cultivation also. This is one technology where we see that these days a lot of climatical aberrations are there. During that time, if we have a protected structure, so we can have good supply of continuous and good supply of fruits and vegetables to the market. For that also there is assistance. And we are promoting integrated nutrient management, integrated pest management also. And another thing is adoption of organic farming. We are talking a lot of these days on organic farming, and government is also pushing for that. But we have to have a balanced look at what is organic farming, whether we need to have a total organic or we need to go for something balanced so that there is no residue in the produce that we are going to harvest. So that kind of initiatives are there in the ministry, and we are assisting for adoption of organic farming. And also certification, that is another important aspect of organic farming. Unless it is certified, the clients may not get the full faith in what the organic product is. So we are assisting for certification also. And integrated post-harvest management is another part. As we see, most of the horticulture produce are highly perishable. So we have to have a very good supply chain. In that one, integrated post-harvest management will come very critical. So we have assisting for pack houses, pre-cooling unit, cold rooms, mobile pre-cooling units, and also for ripening chambers in case of certain crops like banana and papaya. And cold storage structures, we are assisting for construction, maintenance, and expansion also. These are some of the initiatives. Over and above this, in fact, during the post-COVID time, of course, still we are running into the COVID time itself, and we learned a lot of lessons. Because of that one, Government of India, with the assistance or the involvement of our ministry, started Kisan Udan, wherein many of the perishable commodities are being transported from airlines. Kisan Rail is another success of this one. About 67 timetable trains were ran from production center to consumption center. Now also we have about more than 7 or 8 dedicated lines, timetable lines, which are carrying the perishables from production centers to consumption centers. And I want to stress upon here is our new scheme as Agriculture Infrastructure Fund. This is very, very critical. Many of our Government of India schemes, the entrepreneurs find a problem in getting the loan from the banks. That promoter share, whatever that is there, Government of India initiated about 1 lakh crores of rupees set aside this fund. In that one, there is a interest subvention of about 3% for about 7 years. This is the promoter share that is limited up to 2 crore rupees. And there is no collateral for about 2 crore rupees again. This is one of those things very interesting. And this amount is over and above the whatever the other Government of India subsidies are available. So this will boost our rural infrastructure in terms of cold storages, building cold storages or infrastructure, any other investment part that is required from the entrepreneur side. And as Saini also talked about that one, sorry, about 10,000 FPOs that we are promoting, Government of India. And recently we identified and registered about 5 beekeeping and honey mission FPOs, exclusively for honey mission. So this kind of product specific FPOs are also coming into picture. And here about 300 members are required to form an FPO in plain land, and about 100 is sufficient in some of the northeastern region where there is the density is population is not high that way. Here we give about 15 lakh rupees as a matching grants. And the second bill that we are now talking into farmers empowerment. Here they can, some of these entrepreneurs, they can look into the contract farming, wherein some of the specific crops, if they can enter into contract farming and procure them based on the previously decided prices, farmers also will get encouragement, and they are sure that they are going to get something. I want to inform one thing. Our NAFED, National Agriculture Federation, they are entering into some of the contracts with some beekeepers and also the onion producers. Our another panelist, DDG Horticulture, he will appreciate this part. We are looking for moving the area from traditional areas to non-traditional areas, especially onion, because of the problems that you have faced a couple of years back and now. And ICR is good in identifying some of the non-traditional areas which are the productivity is also high, and if we give some push for the farmers to encourage them to produce this onion, they can some of these parts like Punjab and UP and northeastern part of the country also, these are some of the non-traditional areas. There NAFED is entering to the contract with some of these farmers so that the farmers start taking up the onion cultivation. This is one of those things which we recently initiated in our ministry. And another initiative is the ODOP, one district, one product. Although Uttar Pradesh has come up with a very good scheme, their production and productivity is also increasing in some of those crops. Government of India, along with food processing industry, Ministry of Commerce, we all sat together. And initially it started with promoting the GA crop, geography indicator crops. Finally, now we are in the process of identifying the crops for about almost all the 607 districts in the country, where the schemes, whatever the Government of India schemes, will concentrate on pushing that particular crop or particular product further. That is the way we are taking up. And in horticulture, we on a pilot basis, we started about 7 clusters, 7 crops in 11 clusters, wherein end-to-end development, starting from planting material till the post-harvest and business models are being developed for that. Nursery portal I talked to you about. And recently we started with some of the niche crops like Garcinia, kiwi, and strawberry, dragon fruit. Such crops we are going to promote. Then the other one from Ministry of Food Processing is the top onion, potato, and tomato. These crops, wherein 200 crores for set aside for the storage and transport. Now this scheme has been extended for almost about 42 horticulture crops in 20 fruit crops and 22 vegetable crops, and the scheme is up to now about March 31st. In under the scheme, 50% is assistance is available for transportation and storage. These farmers can make use of this one, and this is a very good scheme. But somehow, it because of the publicity or intricacies in launching this scheme, it has not taken up. Now it was recently modified with the new SFC, and this is going to be a very important scheme. Last part I want to touch upon is beekeeping. I am looking after this National Bee Board also. Here, this is one of the very important scheme. Initially, we had allocation of about 300 crores for this one. During the Atmanirbharta package announced by the finance minister, the second package, we got about 500 crores for this one. This is a very, very important aspect because not only as the product honey, on the pollination support, which is very important for both agriculture and horticulture crops, there is an increase of about 13 to 200% increase in the yield of many of these crops that is being documented. Not only the yield increase, but the quality of the produce is also important. Many of these temperate fruits like strawberry, apple, the pollination is very, very important. And we are assisting the farmers to have the bee boxes. And also we have initiated this particular mission in three mini missions. One is for HRD, wherein we are going to train the beekeepers, not only men, many of the women beekeepers also we are promoting. Second one, HRD plus production part, we are assisting in the first mini mission. And in the second mini mission, we are investing on the infrastructure development. As we saw, and Sainiji also touched upon the recent study from CSE, wherein honey adulteration, which is damaging our industry, and lot of export is also hampered. We have the production of 1,20,000 metric tons of honey. Out of that, 50% is getting exported. And if we get this kind of scenario in the international market, there will be a big hit for our beekeeping industry. To avoid that one, we are investing on setting up of laboratories, wherein 5 regional laboratories, very big laboratories, with an assistance of about 10 crore rupees for each of these labs in regional north, east, south, and central. Already we have established 2 of them, one in Punjab, PBTI, another is in Gujarat, Anand. The other one is shortly coming up in south in Bangalore. And the other 2 we are identifying the place, suitable place. Along with that one, with the help of FSCCI, we are upgrading the honey testing, the regular food testing lab into honey testing lab also, with an assistance of about 2 crore rupees. These are some of the initiatives. In the third mini mission, that is for research and development, we are promoting that also with assistance. We have not got the technologies, good technologies for increasing the productivity. There are issues with bee diseases that can be curtailed, and also producing the bee colonies, good bee colonies, we are going to assist. Along with that one, for technology development, we have Center of Excellences, 30 of them, with the assistance of Dutch government and also Israeli government across the country. And we have 22 precision farming development centers across the country, wherein we are supporting them with assistance about 40 to 50 lakh rupees per each PFDCs for developing the technology, demonstrating them, and also handholding the farmers, and work with the state government to assist them. These are some of the initiatives from the Government of India, from Horticulture Division, sir. This is what I wanted to share with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. In fact, you spoke so well and so continuously that I was trying to interject you, but you didn't give me the opportunity to do so. Because so thank you for outlining the key initiatives of Government of India, particularly with reference to the horticulture development. And of course, your talk on the bee promotion as well, and the export potential of the bee production, honey, was quite interesting. So without taking much of time, because we have already overshot the time limit, I will quickly move to Dr. Anand Kumar Singh, the DG Horticulture, who has been patiently waiting for the past 1 hour. So over to you, DG, Dr. A.K. Singh. Dr. Anand, I would request you to unmute yourself. Please unmute.
Yeah. How much time do I have at my disposal?
Safely 10 minutes, 10 to 15, 10 minutes or 15 minutes? 10 minutes.
Okay.
10 minutes.
So I'm here as a filler. Anyway,
These are the periods of the last week.
Okay. Thank you. That I must congratulate you that you have organized this kind of meeting here. We have drawn the speakers from different sides, from the district administration to the policy makers, and also Dr. Murthy before me, he spoke from the ministry side. So as you know that the horticulture, I'll restrict myself to horticulture only. The Indian agriculture contributes more than 1,200 crore in terms of the value, and horticulture is one of the most vibrant part of Indian agriculture, where the value of output at price level of 2010 and 11 was estimated in 2015 and 16 is a 456,000 crore. You can imagine, from 26 million hectare area of 142 million hectare area that you till is in horticulture. That's a very small, but yet very significant in terms of contributions, whether for the domestic supply or for the export purposes, or the total output value from this such a small area is much higher than the other set of crops put together. Now, in the last 10, 15 years, as you said, somebody said in the beginning that in 2003, and Dr. Murthy, I think, said, when Manmohan Singh was the prime minister, then he said horticultural production was 150 million tons. And then the target was given that by the end of the 2010 and 11, it has to be doubled to the tune of 300 million tons. It didn't happen, but now it has happened, and the target is much more. I think there is a lot of continuous disturbance. I don't know, this is to me only or to you also. It has to be double. It happened because of certain reasons. And nevertheless, today we have reached, I will not repeat for the sake of saving time, the 319 million tons. If you critically analyze 319 million tons, there are hardly 5 to 6 commodities put together. They contribute more than 76% of the total tonnage. That for any country is not very good figure actually. If I talk about the vegetables, we are producing something like 190 million tons, where hardly potato, tomato, onion, and brinjal and cauliflower and cabbage put together, they are constituting the chunk of it, greater chunk of this one. However, the vegetable entire set constitutes, several dozens of the crop. Horticulture, ICR, for example, we research on 125 different set of crops. Now the question is, we are producing adequate amount of the, not adequate, the food grains or several horticultural commodities in quantities which is much more than what the country needs. That has become the burden of food security, burden of the nutritional security. Why? Because against the requirement of 43 million tons of potato, country is producing 52 million tons. We have touched sometime back in the history. So what are we going to do with that? Value addition is not that much. In case of onion and pyaj, onion and tomato, often in a cyclic manner, हर दूसरे या तीसरे साल पे इसकी price में escalation होता है, despite the fact we are producing much more than what we need. We have touched 22.5 million tons. Last year it was 25.5 million, not a little more than that. Still there is a price escalation in the market. How this can happen? As Dr. Murthy was saying, that 3 years back when I was talking that when Siraj Hussain was the Secretary of Agriculture, then I proposed him that. He said, what can be done? Then I said, sir, you have to do, what you do is that you will have to strengthen the fragmented supply chain of India in the case of high value crops. And you have to build the cold storage capacities at 2 or 3 places, starting from the production centers, then to the consumption centers, major cities, and somewhere in the middle also. Then he said, what are these production centers? Then I explained him what are these production centers. Since then, this concept has came into the discussion and action-oriented plans also. Dr. Murthy just mentioned 2.5 years back when I introduced onion. I thought that, let me tell you in a minute the story of the onion in India. Last year we produced, as I said, 25.5 million tons. And onion in India is produced, for example, in 3 seasons, Rabi, Kharif, and late season. 60% of onion is produced in the Rabi season, and remaining 40% is produced with a share of Kharif as well as the late Kharif season is, I mean, 22 and 18, something like that. Not exactly, something like that. So whenever there is a monsoon vagary there, then there is a escalation of the price of the Kharif, because it is the Rabi season onion which goes into the storage, not the Kharif and the late Kharif season. 2.5 years back, I tried to introduce onion into the non-traditional areas, because the majority of the onion cultivation commercially comes from the 2 or 3 states. I mean, more than 80 or 89% of that. When I tried to introduce onion in the non-traditional areas, it was a laughing stock. Today is a point of discussion. If the ministry would have taken certain steps 2 years back on this thing, I think we could have avoided 2 escalations, at least 2 years. And now, thank God that they have taken, they have recognized, and now they are coming to the terms what is needed for the country in terms of expansion, diversification. In UP, we introduced onion in Mirzapur districts, and now we supplied free seeds, free saplings, and we did technical hand holding with the farmers. We started with 5 farmers. Now the number of farmers is several thousand, and they are producing more than 4,000 or 5,000 tons of onion. Last year, onion import in India from other countries was 36,000 tons roughly, and we produced in Mirzapur 3,200 tons from our own farmers. Imagine, I mean, 3,000 this year also, it has gone to more than 5,000 tons. This has come as a cushion for the supply of the onion that has curtailed the price escalation. It was in the beginning, but when the supply started from those areas to other parts of the Uttar Pradesh, which were otherwise they used to import onion from the Lasalgaon or Pune or other areas, how much food miles it leaves behind, just imagine. Now, when we have to go for potato, tomato, or any other crop, high value crops, we have to achieve the target of Prime Minister's clarion call that by the turn of 25-26, we have to double the agri exports, presently from $38 billion to $100 billion. Then the scope for horticulture is enormous. Several tenders have been floated for wheat and paddy. I think it has not come to the expectations. Therefore, what are the areas where you can export of the agricultural commodities, you can achieve the target? It's only horticulture. Horticulture, you need the technologies. You need the matching production systems. We need the variety, which, as Dr. Sani was saying, that in Haryana, many initiatives have been taken, as Mr. Hiralal was also saying, that at district level, he has a plan, he's trying to, वो कह रहे थे कि हम विचारों का रूपांतरण करना चाहते हैं ताकि उस विचार को जगह मिले और व्यावसायिकता आए, लोग जुड़े, गांव में बैठे रहते हैं, लोग काम पे आएंगे। जब तक उनके इनकम के जरिए को बढ़ाया नहीं जाएगा, इनकम को मोर डायनामिज्म नहीं दिया जाएगा, इनकम की मात्रा को बढ़ाई नहीं जाएगी, हमारे ख्याल से थोड़ी सी मुश्किलात का सामना फेस करना पड़ सकता है। अगर किसी एरिया में, इमेजिन आज की तारीख में 319 मिलियन टन हम पैदा कर रहे हैं, अगर सब कुछ कर करके हम आज 350 मिलियन टन कर देंगे तो आप उसका करेंगे क्या? आप उसका क्या करेंगे? इसके लिए क्या करने के लिए है कि टेक्नोलॉजी ड्रिवन मोटिव के साथ किसानों के पास आपको जाना होगा। यू हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई सर्टेन एरियाज एंड यू हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई सर्टेन क्रॉप्स की कमोडिटीज का मूवमेंट कहां से कहां हो रहा है। प्याज महाराष्ट्र से पूरे देश में जा रही है, प्याज की खपत पंजाब में सबसे ज्यादा है, हो रही है, नॉर्थ ईस्ट में जा रही है, महाराष्ट्र से लेह और लद्दाख में जा रही है, पंजाब में कंजम्पशन सबसे ज्यादा है, बट दे आर प्रोड्यूसिंग हार्डली 1/3 ऑफ द रिक्वायरमेंट। ऐसा क्यों है? क्यों इतना फूड माइल्स लगता है? एक ट्रक लोड 10 टन का होता है, अगर लासलगांव से अमृतसर के मार्केट में आता है तो 3 से 4 दिन लग जाता है, अगर सीजन अच्छा है तो उसका किराया 60 से 65 हजार रुपए होता है। हाउ मच फूड माइल्स is being left in the whole process? Imagine a truckload of onion with a 10 to 12 tons is going to northeastern states. It goes virtually. Tomato, it goes from the from Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, and Telangana to other parts of the country. Why not to diversify, given an option with the technology backup to areas who are the buyers of these commodities? Therefore, technology is the key. ICR, through its outfit in development of the research, knowledge, and extension mechanism, is engaged heavily into this one. Do any policy planning, do anything unless you have the matching technology. Keep on doing, expanding the areas into the greenhouse cultivations. For example, I think we have something like 125,000 hectare area in the greenhouse. if you do the critical analysis, hardly 4 or 5 crops are there. Tomato, capsicum, cucumber. These are the greater chunk of the crops. There are sporadic farmers who are cultivating chilies in the greenhouse. Otherwise, there is no fourth vegetable crop in the greenhouse. Rest all area is in floriculture. If you want to add, there are options. There are many vegetables which should be produced in greenhouse conditions. But do you have options? Do you have technical backup? Do you have adequate number of varieties which is suitable for cultivation in the greenhouse? No. Therefore, the need is, along with these things, unless you have matching varieties, आप इसको आगे नहीं बढ़ा सकते हैं. प्रोसेसिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज नहीं है तो नहीं जा सकते हैं. अगर इसकी मात्रा को बढ़ाते हैं, अगर इसका राइट डिस्पोजल नहीं होता है, एक्सपोर्ट नहीं होता है, हमारे ख्याल से बहुत चुनौती का सामना आपको करना पड़ेगा. बाहर आप अगर एक्सपोर्ट करना चाहते हैं, कंटामिनेशन
Anand, your mic got muted.
Mute हो गया.
Unless these critical points, these are the critical, hazard points, unless these are issued technically, scientifically oriented, research-driven objectives and outcomes, it will be very tough to achieve the target of exporting commodities from these areas to other areas. Now, this is important. Horticulture sector production enhancement through the technology driven. For example, there are many ordinances which have come, at least 3, the latest one which has come in the last 8-9 months. They have to be leveraged. They are going to prove as a boon to the farmers, at least for the high value commodities. I think it's very much possible that farmers, whenever we are going as a technical stakeholder with to the farmers, किसानों के पास हम जाते हैं, तो उनको सिर्फ हम यही ना बताएं कि ये गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसी है, ये टेक्नोलॉजी है, ये इसका पेस्ट डिजीज और इंसेक्ट के कंट्रोल के लिए मेजर्स अवेलेबल है. हमारे ख्याल से उनको यह भी बताने की जरूरत है कि आप क्या कर सकते हैं. प्रोडक्शन को लेके बाजार आने वाला कॉन्सेप्ट जा चुका है. गॉन आर द डेज देन यू प्रोड्यूस समथिंग, ब्रिंग टू द मार्केट. नो, दिस इज it will be a utter failure. Now make use of you have to start your journey from the market back to the field with the market intelligence. What is there in the market which you need? What price? Is there any competition? Number one. Number two, if you want to send these commodities in other countries, these commodities are being traded. Somebody is doing it. We are producing 31 million ton of banana. How much are we sending to the other countries? 10 years back, banana cultivation in UP was 5,000 hectare area. Today, banana cultivation in UP is more than 90,000 hectare area. And the dominant cropping pattern in the case of Uttar Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Bihar, how much profit you get with the banana coming into the cropping system in the eastern Gangetic plains, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, entire UP and Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand and West Bengal. Productivity of banana in some of the areas is, against the 36 tons per hectare of the nation, is 70 tons in Gorakhpur areas, eastern UP areas. This has to be tapped. It has hardly come into 8 to 10 years. Now, when we are producing 31 million ton of banana, what are you going to do with this? Unless you do the मूल्यवर्धन इसका आप नहीं करते हैं, इसका प्रसंस्करण नहीं करते हैं, सही समय पे कंजम्पशन सेंटर्स पे भेजते नहीं हैं, या विदेश में मार्केट की is a tropical fruit. Banana is a tropical fruit, and the international trade of banana is in several $billion. वहां के लिए अगर प्रोडक्शन हमें करना है, तो हमें 2 चीज का ध्यान देना होगा, जो कि हमारे ख्याल से हीरा जो कह रहे थे कि unless 2 things are competitiveness, quality and the cost. PM Kisan aims that there is a provision of the budget which can be leveraged when we are going to the farmers, that enables that aims, PM Kisan aims that income of the farmers can be doubled or enhanced by use of technology. So the farmer has to use this technology in production. Farmer has to use the technology in harvesting, grading, transport, storage before it comes to the retail. Therefore,
I am totally completely out of time now.
So I'll take 1 or 2 minutes. I'll take 1 or 2 minutes.
Totally out of time now.
Okay, then I'll finish it here.
Just concluding remark.
So my concluding remark is that horticulture sector is technology driven, knowledge driven, and capital intensive. Therefore, these things has to come together, and with the leverage of the ordinances of the government of India, I think once we approach to the farmers to attend the problems, we can offer enduring solutions to meet the requirement of the country for ourselves, and also meet the objective of the Honorable Prime Minister that by the turn of 25-26, agri exports can be doubled. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. A.K. Singh, for so beautifully outlining the horticulture department's potential to develop the farm income by 2025-26. We are completely out of time. Would have loved to take some Q&As from the audience as well as from internal from the panelists, but I have just no time left now. So I would have to request my backend team to present with the speaker certificates. This speaker certificate is for Dr. B.N.S. Murthy, the Horticulture Commissioner, Ministry of Agriculture, Cooperation and Farmers Welfare, Government of India. Dr. Murthy so beautifully put up the Government of India's vision of horticulture development and in allied sectors. Thank you so much, Dr. Murthy. Next speaker certificate is for Dr. Arjun Singh Saini. Dr. Arjun Singh Saini is DG Horticulture, Department of Agriculture, Farmers Welfare, Government of Haryana. Dr. Arjun had given a very beautiful outline of what Haryana is doing currently in the field of horticulture development, and also what is the future roadmap to develop the farmers' income in this field. Although I don't see him on the screen. And this is for our last speaker of the day, Dr. A.K. Singh, the DDG Horticulture in the Horticulture Science Department, ICAR, Ministry of Agriculture, Farmers Welfare, Government of India. Thank you, Dr. A.K. Singh.
Thank you so much. Thanks.
And this last certificate of the day of the panel is for Dr. Hira Lal, Additional Mission Director, National Health Mission, who beautifully outlined his vision of the grassroots level development through his village manifesto. Thank you to all the distinguished panelists here. We are totally run out of time now. We'll move on to the next special address by an eminent speaker who is just waiting here. Dr. Jiten Kumar Soni is a collector and DM, Nagaur, Government of Rajasthan. He will also outline his vision of how to make agriculture the mainstay of the rural economy. Thank you so much, all of you.
Thank you.